Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to bring you inspiring stories of organizations and individuals making a difference, leading by example. We get to kick it off with our good friends. We're talking about Bike MS, the National MS Society. We are joined by Andrew Forsdick. He's a longtime team captain, rider with the Bike Ride, and also the current Mid-South Board Chair. We also have Katie Claiborne. She's the development specialist for Bike MS and the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, National MS Society, as you know them. But Katie, Andrew, how are you two doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having us today. This is something exciting to look forward to during a quarantine.
Absolutely. You get to get outside and enjoy the fresh air and enjoy the bike ride. And this year is a little different. We'll talk about this, but being a virtual event really allows everyone to participate. You've got a very flexible way to engage families and corporate teams and everyone to be able to do it safely with health, but also to be able to do it that fits your schedule. And so we'll talk all about that. But let's start with National MS Society. Katie, give us a little bit for the mission, the purpose of the organization. Let's start there.
Yeah, so the National MS Society is a movement by and for those affected by MS. So really what began with one woman's vision and commitment is today a 50-state network leading to a global charge to create a world free of MS. So if you don't know, MS was previously and still sometimes is kind of neglected and it's poorly understood. So, when Sylvia Lowry, our founder, started the society in 1946, there were a lot of things unknown about the disease. And then, together over the past years, we've achieved more breakthroughs for MS than the world has seen for any other neurological disease. So we've seen a lot of great things come out over the past few years, and especially in these more recent past few years, we've seen a lot of increased great things coming. So we're really excited about the success we're seeing and, the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel that we hope to be able to be seeing soon. So within the society, we drive change through advocacy. We facilitate professional education opportunities. We provide a lot of different services designed to help people with MS and their families. And then we also provide cutting edge research, funding for cutting edge research. So, since our founding in 1946, the society has invested more than $1 billion to advance MS research. And we are actually recognized as the catalyst for all major advancements in MS as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you look at the research and development side, so many of the protocols, the new treatments have been a result of your funding and research and development on that side, which is amazing. Describe what MS is. So for those who don't really know MS, how do you define, because I know it's tough in terms of the neurological side, like you said, and many times you don't necessarily see it on the outside. So describe MS.
Yeah, I will actually toss this over to Andrew. I think he will give a better description, a personal one that I think will be more helpful.
Yeah, Andrew?
Sure. So for one thing, it's a disease that is hard to diagnose. And so there are a lot of people who go for many years before they get a diagnosis. But the simplest way that I was able to kind of grasp it was somebody explained it like the wiring in your house. If you think about the wiring in your house being your neurological system, and the anodes get the myelin surround your anodes, and your system is kind of like the plastic wiring, plastic around the wires to protect the wires. And so if you have an issue with the wires that are going to your kitchen, then the microwave may not work. If you have a problem with wires going to a light switch in the den, then that may not work. And so it's the same thing with the body. Sometimes the wires that are affected on somebody are the wires going to their eyes, and so they have vision issues. Sometimes it's the wires going to their feet, and so they're having walking issues and drop foot. So that's one of the problems is while it's one disease, it's multiple sclerosis, it has so many varying symptoms that it's hard sometimes to get diagnosed and hard for somebody to understand. And sometimes you don't see somebody and you're fine one day and you're not the next. And so they don't see something physically wrong with you. And so people don't always understand it. And I think a lot of times before people get diagnosed, people just think they're crazy. Which just because they have MS doesn't mean they're not crazy, but at least that's not evidence of it, that they are in fact having symptoms and issues.
You being the local board chair here in Memphis, talk about what that means in terms of the personal support, the network here of support personally. So share a little bit of just what's going on personally here in Memphis.
Sure. So, the Mid-South chapter actually covers all of Tennessee. And so we have board members in Nashville and Knoxville and across the state up in Clarksville. And so that support that is here includes things like Katie was listing in terms of the programs, and there are some meetings, there are specific things where they can help out with people if they need help in the home or other issues like that. The society helps with that. Also, in the case of Memphis, it happens that the MS Society supports a research doctor, Hungbo Chi, at St. Jude, and he's doing a lot of research, very interesting research. We've had the opportunity to tour that lab before, which was pretty interesting. So specifically here in the Mid-South, some of those dollars are coming right back here to help find that cure.
Yeah. Katie, share a little bit about just kind of the 24/7 idea of support. You've got kind of a navigator on one side, and also to talk about just the effects of COVID-19, because I feel like the support now with things like a navigator are so important, because as we are more quarantined at home, we're searching for ways to connect outside, but also to looking for those resources, within obviously a more flexible schedule. So talk about COVID-19 and just the navigator and some of the access points.
Yeah, so, internally, I think one thing we say a lot is MS is the disease of lost connections. And so in order to tackle this disease, we have to build new connections. And right now, in the middle of quarantine, in the middle of this pandemic, a lot of times connection seems to be what we're lacking with each other. And so we've done a great job, before the crisis hit, of setting up resources like our MS Navigator or our weekly self-help group meetings, all kinds of different things to build those connections for people. And I think we've honestly done a really great job as the crisis hit, as COVID-19 hit, to really pivot. Pivot has been our word of the year, and pivot virtually pretty much as well. So we are offering new things, as we have a weekly Ask an MS Expert that is live on our Facebook, on our website. Anybody can come. You can be living with MS. You can have a family or friend living with MS. You can ask any questions. It's really, really cool, and we've heard great things about it. So that's really a really awesome way. I know you mentioned our MS Navigator program, and that's something we've had before, and we've definitely seen that those coordinators being stepped up. They've had a big increase in calls and asks over the past few months, because things are really different, and people feel different. Their mental health looks different, their job security looks different. A lot of people might not feel comfortable going into the doctor or the hospital to get treatments right now. So everything, you just are looking for connections to help us out during this time, and we still have those 100%. We were able to quickly kind of pivot here again to our self-help groups. They now meet virtually online. And, I think in a lot of different ways, we found out that meeting virtually sometimes is a better option. People can fit it in their schedule a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about going out in public or hitting traffic or something. So we've seen a big rise in people attending those as well.
Yeah, and I think to your point, it's just really important to know that the support is still there, the help is still there, and you're making it a lot more accessible. So I just think that those are things that are really important for everyone to know. So let's go switch over and talk about this bike ride that's famous. It's got a long, long legacy. And obviously the idea is that it supports the National MS Society and everything that we're talking about in terms of funding the research, the support networks, the access, all of these things. That's where the money obviously goes to support the mission and fund the mission. So Talk about this long history, and then we'll dive into the virtual experience for this year.
Yeah, so like Andrew mentioned a little bit earlier, locally Memphis has been such a crucial supporter of our fight to end MS across the state of Tennessee. So with, decades of involvement with the MS Society here, we've had MS walks, we've had galas, like Andrew mentioned, research projects at St. Jude. Memphis continues to show up and to stand out across the nation. So we love, love, love all of our Memphis supporters. You guys are absolutely great. But perhaps maybe, our most well-known fundraiser, it's definitely one of our longest fundraisers over here, has been the Bike MS Rockin Ride event. So this has previously been known as the MS 150 for those of you that have been around for decades. Might have participated in the past. But, we are part of the Bike MS series across the country, which has 70 rides. Bike MS is the largest fundraising cycling series in the world. So it's a really, really great brand to be part of. And this is one of the rides that have been around absolutely the longest here. So basically, cyclists from all across the area come together on our ride weekend, and we'll ride up to 150 miles over the course of 2 days, all to benefit the National MS Society. So over our past 35 years of the Rockin Ride, we have seen thousands of cyclists, and we have also raised over $5 million here as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Andrew, give us your perspective, being a team captain, being a cyclist, being someone who obviously is both passionately involved but has been involved for a long time. Give us your experience of this, and then we'll dive into the virtual, all the logistics of it. But give us your experience.
Sure. So the first time I actually rode in Bike MS was in 2011. And at that time, I was a cyclist, and I'd heard about this 2-day ride that went down to Tunica and came back. And I was really excited and wanted to do that. So was able to get in with the group and a team and did the ride. Unfortunately, the next year, my schedule didn't allow me to join in 2012 because of logistical issues. In 2013, I was diagnosed with MS. And so I wrote down the list of the good and bad things. But one of the good things about being diagnosed meant that I got to do the Bike MS ride. And everybody in the family had to be supportive. So it was okay to miss a soccer game or another dinner or something like that. And so basically I had a hall pass, and I had hall passes for my friends. And so we formed a team. And we've been riding since in that team. Our team name is FMS, but of course we make it clear that the F stands for fight. So we're out there to fight MS, and we've been one of the top friends and family teams since that time. So it's really fun to do a ride with a group of people who have a common goal and kind of understand and are riding for a reason. So that's been a lot of fun. You mentioned the virtual aspect of it. We like our ride down to Tunica, and that's fun. But we got, got a little curveball thrown at us this year. And in some ways, when somebody said something about the ride being canceled, and we said, no, the ride's not canceled. The ride is on. It's virtual. And in some ways, I was thinking about it. There was somebody who wasn't going to be able to participate on August 12th and 13th, the original weekend. However, they can do August 26th, which is the day that nationwide all of the September rides are going to be doing some live streaming and some other activities around that. So in a way, for me and for my team, it was a little bit liberating in that, hey, we can do whatever route we want. We're going to have a ride on the 12th. Whoever wants to participate on the 12th can do that. Whoever wants to participate on the 26th can do that. And if you want to do both, you do both. And so our team has chosen part of this is inside, outside. If you need to ride inside on the trainer and that's what works for you, you can do that. Most of our people want to ride outside. And so we've chosen the outside route and are training toward that. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's how we've adapted in this virtual solution. But the other thing that was sort of liberating is I had somebody who was hedging on whether he could raise $300, and I don't know if I can do that. And then I don't know about being gone that night, and I got my kids. And great, So there's no fundraising minimum. There's no registration fee, and there's no hotel. You're not staying overnight. There's no excuse anymore. You just have to ride with me either on the 12th or the 26th, or you can go ride a different day if you want to, which is, again, that flexibility really opens it up for anybody to ride whatever distance they want on whatever day they want and raise money and support the MS Society.
Yeah, you totally opened up the floodgates for everyone to participate. And like you said, you've made it extremely easy and accessible. Katie, what would you add to that in terms of kind of how it works, access points? As Andrew mentioned, there's some, live streaming and things like that. So how does it work? Go ahead and dive into the details.
Yeah, so, over the past few months, it definitely started back in March. The society was having to realize that we were starting to cancel all of our in-person events. There was just no way across the country that we could have these still. And so all of our leadership, put their minds together, and they were like, we've got to come up with another option in this virtual world right now, because just because there is a crisis does not mean MS stops. We still have to continue on with our fight to end MS, even though we're in the middle of a pandemic. So, we pulled all of our brains together. We really looked at what are some cool things that are out there that people are doing right now. And we came up with our virtual Bike MS Inside Out event. So this is our first ever, completely nationwide virtual Bike MS event. So this is going to be really cool. So like Andrew said, basically on September 26th, we're going to have cyclists from across the country come together and ride that day. So you can decide if you want to ride inside or if you want to ride outside, hence the Inside Out name. But, we've partnered with Zwift and Strava, some really big cycling apps right now, to help give you guys this best experience. So whether you ride inside or whether you ride outside, you can still be connected to all of our live events going throughout the day. So this is one thing similar, it's free to register. There's no fundraising minimum. But also if you are if Andrew wanted to send to his mom, hey, here's this website to watch what I do every year, who normally can't come to the ride, you can share our website. Everything is going to be live on our website throughout the day. We're going to have a live broadcast, with shout outs to teams, possibly maybe Andrew's team. You can listen for Memphis shout outs as well. We'll have a virtual jersey competition. All of our fun stuff will still go on. It will just be virtual.
Talk about website, social media. Where do we go and send everyone to get signed up, to follow, and just be a part of it?
Yeah, so you can go to our website to learn more, to register at www.nationalmssociety.org/bike MS 2020. So you can also just Google Bike MS Inside Out. That will come up there as well. But yeah, you will see it on our Facebook if you are following or like our National MS Society page on Facebook. But yeah, we've really taken away all the barriers here so that everyone can participate, because one thing that we've really come to mind and noticed over these past few months is this strange world we're living in now, this uncertainty that we feel every single day. This is what people living with MS feel like every day of their lives. For us, once COVID-19 ends, that uncertainty will stop for us. But this kind of feeling of the unknown and the nervousness, this is a constant daily battle for people living with MS. So this is a really good time for us to kind of step back and kind of realize, what it means to live with MS on some different levels. And, it has just highlighted our mission, and we are still fighting to find an end to MS. Before this pandemic hit, we were on a really, really great trajectory, hopefully seeing an end in sight very soon. But even just looking back, over the past 35 years of this, we've had the Rockin Ride, we have we've paved the way for nearly 20 treatment options that are available today that we didn't even have when this ride first started. So we've seen great success, and this is not the time to, take the foot off the gas pedal at all. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just still, create excitement around Bike MS, around the National MS Society. And like I said at the beginning, people are looking for ways to still be connected right now, and especially get out and do something active. So this is a really great way to get involved.
Yeah, and literally anyone around the world can be involved in this sort of way. Andrew, wrap it up on your end with just final thoughts for, someone who obviously, as you mentioned, you have MS, you're dealing with this. This is a personal battle, a personal fight for you. What would your words of encouragement be for everyone to be a part of this and to be engaged and to help give back and make a difference through National MS Society?
Yeah. So first of all, there are a lot of people who are living with MS who are not able to get out on a bicycle. One of our longtime riders, former board member who recently had a relapse, and so she's not going to be able to ride this year. So that's part of it for me, is I feel like I'm kind of riding for those who can't, and I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that I can. And so for people who are not, who are not actively living with MS and don't necessarily know somebody, a close family member, it's funny how, I guess not funny, it's alarming how many people, when they start asking, to realize they do know somebody who is living with MS. And so pretty much everybody out there it has a friend, whether they know it or not. And there are some people who choose not to talk about it. And so there's a high likelihood anybody out there has someone they know and know well who is living with MS, whether they know it or not. And so coming out and sport, and look at I went out and rode in 2011. I didn't know that I was going to be diagnosed. And so it was, doing that is something that can be good. You never know where your life may turn.
Yeah. Well, Katie, Andrew, thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for all you do. Definitely encourage everyone to get involved, but thank you so much for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks for having us.